A guy on the New York subway apparently masturbating in public. Okay, this is not something new to New York, but what's new is that we all have cameras now on our phones. So someone who works at the FBI, not an FBI agent, but someone who works at the FBI, took a picture of the guy. And she goes to the police and says, hey, look, I got a picture of the guy. He's stroking himself on the number 3 train. Okay? And the cop says, yeah, it's not a police matter. Okay. Of course it's a police matter. You can't have a guy beating off on the number 3 train in front of everybody. Right? That's crazy. So then this woman goes to the press, and the New York press goes crazy. Because they love stories where the cops are wrong. Okay? Like, fair is fair. Okay? They go after the cops all the time in New York tabloids, right? And when you have any kind of sex involved, right? So here are the headlines coming out of this story. Now that the cop did nothing, of course, now the cops are in a panic. They're like, we got it, we're on it, man. We're going to find that guy. The Village Voice had the headline, "Have you seen Stroker on number 3?" The New York Post had, "Lazy cop is a jerk." Get it? And 1010 Wins led with, "Women jerked around by cop." That's part of why you got to love the New York tabloids. I know one of them was the New York Post, but it's okay. All right, we hope that they catch the guy. You know, have I told this story before? My girlfriend at the time coming to see me from New York to New Jersey on a bus with a friend, and a guy sits next to them on a bus where they can't go anywhere. It's like a 45-minute ride. Sits down and goes to work. They're like, what? So they move. He moves along with them to the front of the bus, continues to go to work. You know, but sometimes these people get away with it because people are so freaked out and intimidated and don't know what to do. I mean, what do you do when somebody pulls out their Johnson? It's a fair question, right? So they didn't, I mean, like, they complained afterwards and stuff, but I think you got to just, like, go up to the bus driver and be like, hey, we need to go ahead and get that guy arrested, okay? So let's stop the bus, let's call the cops, let's do whatever we can do, right? By the way, that gives you a sense of how lazy the cops are sometimes. Oh, yeah, what am I going to do? Chase down this jerk-off. Yeah, it's not a police matter. But remember, I lived in New York. I told you this story before, where somebody comes to rob my house. They robbed my apartment, and they had this huge handprint on my window. They moved the window up, they got in through the window, and stole my shit, right? I called the cops, and I'm like, well, the bad news is I got robbed. The good news is there's an enormous handprint on the window, on the outside of the window. In New York, it's filthy. Right? You know, it's boom, right on the dirt there. They're like, yeah, it's not a police matter. I'm like, wait a minute. How can it not be a police matter? I got robbed. It's like the definition of a police matter. They're like, yeah. Look, we're very busy, okay? What'd they take? I'm like, I don't know. They took my, CD player at the time. They took my, sneakers. They took a little bit of money. They're like, you'll be all right. They never even sent a cop. I'm like, no, you don't understand. It's easy. They got a fingerprint. Oh, yeah, we're going to come take a fingerprint. Leads. They got us working around the clock on that case. So that's a sense of the New York cops. Now, that was back in the day, but apparently they haven't improved that much.
If you like this clip, you'll love the whole show. You can watch that at theyoungturks.com.